The morning air is fresh and crisp. The plants around us looking healthier for the drink last night. A handful of small puddles here and there are all that remains of yesterday's rain, likely to be completely dried up in a few hours. As I stand by the front door of the library, Juliet walks up beside me and unfolds her parasol, bringing it over her head.
Shall we depart? It's about a 30-minute walk from here, so perhaps we'll take a ride back once we're done.
Yep. Will you be okay in the sun with that?
Yes. It's still early enough that I don't need to worry too much.
Lead on then.
Stepping out into the brilliant morning, I stretch and roll my shoulders. It's a nice day, not too cold and not too hot. Well, not here, it's freaking like 28 degrees in my office. So again, if you can hear my AC in the background, I do apologize, but I'm melting, so help. As always, Juliet's steps are measured and even as she walks. Her parasol bobs with each step, making it look like she's wearing a big hat from this angle. I smile to myself at the image as I skip along beside her. Even with protection from the sun, it's rare to see Juliet out in the daytime.
So, I was wondering something. If your daughter lives so close, then why doesn't she come to visit more often? I've been here for a couple months now.
Although she clearly hurt me, Juliet doesn't answer. Maybe it's too personal of a question because things are tense between them. I've never seen Juliet not answer one of my questions before, so I don't push it. Juliet remains quiet as we keep walking. That isn't unusual for her, but I still feel a little awkward.
Sorry if I shouldn't have asked that.
No, it's all right. You'll see when we get there, though.
Yeah, so I still believe that we're going to like a cemetery or a graveyard.
Okay.
We head in a direction that I hadn't explored before. We're in the same area as the gardens, but not quite the same spot. A massive green hill watches over us from one side while trees blanket the other. After crossing a small bridge that runs over the highway, we reach another beautiful area. The concrete path we walk along is lined with bushes and flowers and the occasional decorative lamps. There are a few houses peeking through the trees which ring the area, but most of the field is still covered in nature.
Whoa. Are we getting close?
Yes, we're very nearly there. This is Bolton Street Park.
She's pretty lucky to live in a place like this, huh?
Even as a child, Cosette had an affinity for the woods and trees.
I get that. I'll bet she would love to be able to turn into a badder fox.
I'm taken off guard by Juliet, letting out a great laugh. I don't think I've ever seen her like this. A little giggle or rarely a chuckle from time to time, sure, but never anything so relaxed and sincere. A grin spreads on my face just from watching her.
Yes, I think you're right about that.
There are only a handful of houses around the park, so I wonder which one is Cosette's. Time and time again, we walk on past the turns which lead to any of them. Just as I start to wonder where it is we're going, Juliet slowly comes to a stop. The main path forks into two here. The one to our left, a well-trodden dirt path. There's a sign, but I can't quite read the writing yet.
Everything okay? We're not lost, are we?
Heavens, no.
A number of tall trees shade the path that we're on, giving enough protection for Juliet to slide her parasol shut. She takes a deep, silent breath, then smiles and gestures down the offshoot before us.
It's right this way. Just a little further.
Nodding, I follow again as she leads us onwards. Right away, I notice that something is a little bit off. Juliet's steps are slower and a bit more uneven, like she doesn't want to get to wherever we're going. After a few minutes of walking in silence, she takes one last turn off from the path we were on, leading me up a small hill dotted with trees. Once we reach the crest, Juliet comes to a stop. Still confused, I step up beside her.
Here we are.
Huh? I don't see... Oh.
Yeah, I was right. That's so sad. In the shade of one of the trees is a grey stone monument. Its edges are rough and worn from time, but it's spotlessly clean. There are others like it nearby, practically identical. Words are carved into the stone, too small for me to read easily. I've never visited before, but I realize what this place is. I silently mouth the letters of the word at the top, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to say. There's a C, then an O, and then an S. Cosette's grave is preserved perfectly. I'm sure Juliet wouldn't stand for anything else.
I'm... sorry. I didn't...
It's okay, Miho. I'm aware you didn't know, but I wanted you to.
She turns back to the grave, gently running a hand over the curved stone.
My beautiful, precious daughter passed away years ago. Almost 2 decades by now. She lived a long, full life and spent her final moments with those she loved. The last words she told me, the last words she ever said to me.
Juliet's shoulders shake without a sound as I stand there helplessly. She shudders as she takes a deep breath.
Or that she couldn't have been happier.
What was she like?
She was so many things that it's almost impossible to answer. I think you would have liked her. I'm sure she would have loved you. She was adventurous and free, sometimes stubborn to a fault. Once her heart was set on something, there was no stopping her. Everything she did vividly, to the fullest. Even if the very laws of existence told her something was impossible, she would try anyway. She was endlessly kind, with compassion for every living thing, from the smallest insect to the largest, most ferocious beast. She saw the value in all of them.
She gives a small smile as she looks at me, even as tears well in her eyes. I gulp to try and force down my own emotions. You don't have to.
You should have seen her as a child. She would talk your ear off. Both of them, if you'd let her. There wasn't a single person near us who didn't know who she was. So open and free was she. That warmth and care. It was the core of her life. If she saw someone in need, she would rush to their aid. It just naturally came to her. If you or I see someone hurting, we may choose to help. For Cosette, it wasn't a choice. It was simply who she was. To know her was to adore her. Every day that went by, I was more and more proud of her. Those virtues never faded a bit. Even on her last day, she was worried for me more than anything. I promised her that I would...
Juliet sobs, dragging her hand across her face. All I can do is watch, my own emotions a storm that tosses me in all different directions. The pain in Juliet's shaky voice is enough to make my own breath tremble. Mine as well. But beyond that, there's something else, something eating at me that I don't want to acknowledge. Juliet turns back towards the grave, taking a couple steps closer. Unfurling her parasol, she holds it over her shoulder like a shield, guarding herself against the sunlight. She's also able to stand a little straighter.
I promised her that I would live as she did, to honor her memory with kindness and with virtue and with compassion and patience for all.
And I think that's one of the greatest gifts we can be given, is that our memory is honored. Is that we left an impression that someone is better off because of who we were.
That I would ensure her legacy lived on in the many lives she had touched. It was only in the days that followed her passing, as I wandered lost and alone, that I truly began to understand how much she had saved my own life. The gift she gave me was something I'd never had before. Purpose.
That is so beautiful.
How very silly and irrelevant things such as wealth and prestige began to seem after that. Those were fleeting concepts, born as a misplaced need or desire. There was something that could be much greater. Something well beyond money and power. Love. As a word, it's difficult to understand. To hear the poets speak of it, there's nothing mightier and nothing softer. Love was either everything or it was nothing. But it always seemed so trite, so immature. An attempt to create meaning where there is none. And yet, I've found that the poets were right. They were so right. You and I, Miho. To be able to live on, unaffected by time's curse, must surely seem a blessing to some. But that time is meaningless without something to fill it. To those of us who walk alongside Father Time, rather than fleeing him, it's awfully lonely.
Yeah. Ooh.
When I first became a vampire, I told myself that I had no more need for humans, that I was beyond them. Now, I realize I was afraid. There's a simple contentment and joy that can only be found in experience and age, I've learnt. Wisdom does not exclude humans, but to look on as once vibrant hair fades to grey, and as once strong hands soften their grips, as once treasured memories become distant.
So I'm wondering now, did Cosette, die of old age? Not that it's that important in this moment, but it could help to explain Juliet's thoughts right now. That this immortality has actually become a curse, as she's gonna spend the rest of time, which for her is endless, watching everyone that she loves grow old and pass.
there is pain. To watch someone you love grow up is beautiful. To watch them grow old is to suffer. Cosette lived into her 80s. A good, long life for a human. Even as her flesh started to fail her, her mind never did. She was sharp as a sword and quick as a fox. For a human, there is no kinder, gentler end than that of old age. And every day, I'm thankful that Cosette was one of those lucky ones. To slip away peacefully and painlessly. As I held that soft, shaky hand for the last time, I wished desperately that I could trade places with her. I would have done anything to give her just one more day, but there was nothing to be done. Cosette passed on with no regrets, and a smile on her face. She lived as full a life as any human could live.
And how painful that is still a knowledge to rejoice by.
And when she was gone, I was still there. My flesh not a day older than when I met her. It was then that I realized what a cruel gift immortality could be. What a slow, repetitive torture if I chose to let it.
And I think there's actually another thing that's really beautiful here is that Juliet still, put first to honor Cosette's memory by being kind and welcoming to other people. Because I think it would be easy for someone like Juliet to say, I don't want to go through that pain again. Like, I know that if I form a bond with another human, then I'm going to have to go through all of this again, seeing them grow old, being there when they pass, while walking around in this, dark gift of immortality. So it would have been easy for Juliet to just say, I'm never going to bond with another human being again. But here she is, honoring that memory and taking that with her and being welcoming and being kind and caring and being inclusive of those around her. That takes tremendous amounts of strength.
So for the sake of Cosette's memory, and of the promise I made, I swore that I would continue to live as I had not lived before. For virtue, for friendship, for others. For tomorrow, to die is human. To live is a privilege.
With absolute clarity, the storm inside me calms as I pass through its eye. There's a sense of finality in Juliet's words, which leaves them ringing in my ears as I stumble backwards without thinking about it. To die is human. All humans, Cosette, someday Aspen, but also even mine, my person. And that was what I talked about earlier in one of the earlier episodes, is that I was worried that all of this excitement that Miho has built up about finding that person is gonna come crumbling down on her if she is to realize that that person no longer lives. And maybe that was why Aspen, and especially Juliet, having experienced it herself, were ambivalent when Miho talked about her person and finding them. Understanding hits me like an arrow to the heart, and I barely noticed the look of surprise on Juliet's face as I transform, turning tail and fleeing into the forest. My person, the one I've searched for my entire life, is dead too. long dead. No matter what happened after they left the forest, the nature of their human lifespan means that they lived lifetimes ago, generations ago. As I run further and further away, one thought echoes above the others. All this time, all these years, all these decades, they've been for nothing. I dig my claws into the earth with every step, tearing at the roots and leaves. I do know the name for the feeling pulling and tugging at me, the one that had taken over Juliet as we stood there, one I've heard of but never felt until now. Grief. Every lie, every theft, every struggle and hardship, everything for nothing. That word swirls in my head, a dying leaf drifting towards the ground, falling and powerless to stop itself. Finally, I come to a stop, not even knowing where I am or for how long I ran. I just stop when I lose the will to run anymore, transforming onto my knees. Every decision I've ever made, every place I've ever gone, had all been in service of one dream. Over time, I grew to rely on it. I didn't ever have to think or make a difficult decision for myself. Instead, it was like I had a path to follow, however long. But that path wasn't actually leading anywhere. All it did was take me far away and leave me on my own. Rising to my feet, I look around the area. Although the trees and slopes remind me of Mount Victoria, I don't recognize it at all. Juliet's nowhere to be seen. The sprawling sunlight means she couldn't join me here even if she wanted to. Even if she found me, I wonder if she's looking. Juliet, who always seemed so calm and put together, behind that mask, she was hiding all these feelings. What else don't I know about her? What else has she been keeping to herself? Is it just more pain? An ice-cold chill runs down my spine, making me shudder as I realize something else. She must have known too, that my person was dead. She must have figured it out right away, yet she never told me. Aspen too. Suddenly every pained look or topic change whenever I brought up Jung-in makes sense. They both knew, and were hiding it from me all along. This whole time, letting me go on and get my hopes up, without ever stopping me or telling me the truth. It was so simple too. So obvious. If I'd just thought about it for a bit myself, I'd have realized that humans live and die much faster than my kind do. Sighing, I sit down on the grass, wrapping my arms around my knees. I mash one palm into my eyes to wipe away the tears that are there.
Stop crying, Miho.
With a few deep breaths, I manage to fight away the stinging pressure and keep myself from breaking down even more. I sigh again once I'm certain that it won't turn into a sob. Now that the initial shock has worn off, the pain in my heart has gone from a sharp stab to a dull throb. Aside from pure survival instinct, death has always been distant and faceless to me, but now I have to look it in the eye. My time with Jung-in was short, thousands of times shorter than the time I've spent looking for them since then. Still, it was all I had. Where do I even go from here? The sun is getting higher, so Juliet must have made her way back home now. Home by now. She might even be waiting for me to come back. We both know that I have to at some point. It's getting harder for me too. Shakily, I rise to my feet and look around again, actually trying to get my bearings. If I have to, I can just go back in the direction I came from until I find somewhere familiar. I start walking back towards the library since it's the only place I have to go. I may think of it as home for now, but I can't help but picture Juliet's sobbing face. Immortal or not, there has to come a time someday where we don't see each other, and that will be the end of our memories together, or at the least her memories of me. The same goes for Aspen, as mortal as Cosette. Aren't I just resigning myself to feeling this pain again someday, potentially even stronger? Maybe she was right, the other Gumiho. Maybe I don't belong anywhere. By the time I get back to the library, I'm exhausted from the walk and sun. I throw open the library door and go inside, walking past my empty seat at the front desk. Juliet's nowhere to be seen, only patrons. They've always managed just fine without me though. Plodding up to my room, I grab my blanket from my bed and wrap it around myself before I lower myself to the floor. That's when the tears hit me again, and this time I can't hold them back. Slouching onto my side, I don't even try. There's no point. As I expected, in less than a minute, there's a sound at my door. 3 knocks. Always 3.
Miho? Is that you? Are you alright?
I don't respond. I don't even know if I want to see Juliet right now. She's part of this too, after all. She pauses outside for a moment, but a few seconds later, Juliet opens the door anyway.
Oh, Miho.
The pity in her voice tells me everything I need to know. I can only imagine what I must look like, covered in blankets and lying on the floor. I must look pathetic, childish. It must be how I always look to her.
Miho, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Juliet trails off, still just inside the door. I can see her legs and cane, but not her face. I can picture the concern on it though.
Didn't mean to what?
The words come out as a growl, surprising even myself. But I can't pretend. Not now. She let herself in here. She can deal with it. Her cane sways from side to side as she wrings her hands, almost knocking it into the wall more than once.
Mean for you to put things together this way. Such a painful way. I wanted to...
I mean, there's no doubt that in this emotion and in this moment, what Miho feels is betrayal to some extent. But also what Juliet feels is that she didn't want to bring that pain onto, like, Miho. Especially for something she couldn't be certain of. She couldn't take away that joy and that hope from Miho. Because she knew what pain it would cause. So Juliet was caught between like a rock and a hard place here. But I do also understand Miho. It's a complex situation.
So you did know.
I cut her off without thinking as she confirms my suspicion. With one arm, I push myself up, letting the blanket fall away from my face as I glare daggers at Juliet.
Pardon?
You knew.
Slowly, I rise to my feet. My head is pounding, and I can hear my blood pumping as anger rises through me, bubbling out like liquid magma.
All this time they've been dead, and you knew, didn't you? You probably knew from the first time I told you about them, right?
I mean, how could she know? I mean, if you look at it at a human perspective, yes, she would have known given the time frame. But I don't believe Juliet ever knew. I can't remember, but I don't think she ever knew how long Miho had been searching. Could have been 20 years, and they might still be there. But also, Juliet doesn't know if that person is also a fabled, therefore living longer. So, she stiffens, and then Juliet sighs deeply. It's all anyone ever seems to do around here.
I did, yes.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
Although tears are beginning to choke my voice again, I manage to shout out my question, my accusation.
I've been looking like such an idiot. I'm already an idiot compared to you and to Aspen. Every day I'm reminded of that. But this really takes the cake, doesn't it?
Absolutely amazing voice acting here. I gotta give it to the game.
I've been wasting my whole entire life over something everyone else can figure out right away.
Miho, it isn't like that.
Then why? Tell me why you didn't tell me sooner. Or Aspen. She knows too, right?
Juliet nods meekly. My eyes burn and my nose is running. My face hurts in every way possible.
We didn't know how.
Know how? What do you mean, know how?
I can't keep myself from shouting. I feel so stupid, so angry and so sad.
Please, Miho, try to understand. We were still just getting to know you. You barely trusted Aspen or me. If we just told you that the person you were looking for was deceased, we didn't know how you'd take it. You might not even believe us, for one thing. Or perhaps it would give you cause to run away again. As the weeks went on, we wanted to, but it never seemed to be the right time. Neither of us wanted to be the one to, out of nowhere, bring your whole world crashing down.
Exactly.
Not when you were trying so hard. You seemed so happy. It felt more cruel to ruin that in a way.
But I do also get Miho here, however harsh it would have been, they should have told her. If they were certain of it, they should have.
I'm sorry, Miho. I truly am. It was wrong of me to let it go this long without saying anything, but believe me, I only hesitated out of love. Aspen and I both. We simply couldn't bring ourselves to break your heart that way.
Fat lot of good that did. Juliet sniffles and I have to look away. I don't want to see her cry again. Not while I'm already like this. Stooping down to the floor, I pick my blanket back up and wrap it around myself again. Even as I do, I can't help but think of how it's not really my blanket. It's Juliet's. She just lets me use it. Lets me use it. Oh, that was a tongue twister for me. Like everything else.
Go away.
To my relief, she doesn't try to argue, doesn't even say anything else. She just nods and silently leaves the room. The second the door shuts behind her, I collapse into my bed, put my pillow over my face and succumb to my grief. My everything hurts when I wake up, damp pillow still covering me. My face and head hurt from crying, and my body hurts from passing out in an uncomfortable position. I didn't even mean to fall asleep. I must have cried myself into it. The memories of yesterday don't even give me a chance to wake up before they flood my brain, pulling a groan out of me in response. I don't want to get up. I don't want to leave my bed. What's even the point? Still, I know I have to. I have to see Aspen within the next few hours and Juliet too. Eventually. I don't know what to say or even what I want to hear. As much as I'd just like to avoid everything and everyone, the rational part of me knows that I can't. Instead, my magic and beat force me to conform, like always. Either get up or be forgotten. It's not really much of a choice. I sluggishly get dressed and wipe down my face, which is still red from crying. Then I trot downstairs to where we'd normally be having breakfast. Except it's later than usual. There's food on the table for me, but it's long since gone cold. And I can hear the sound of conversation and movement that mean the library is already open. Life goes on, with or without me. And even though this episode is a bit short, I think that's where we're going to leave it for this one. That was a lot to take in and a lot to process. So I think we best take a breather here. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe and stay strong. And we will see each other again. Take care.